All right, so today I'm gonna be showing you my essential tips for making lo-fi, and in the process, I'm actually gonna make a few songs and show you guys what I do to really get that lo-fi sound. And one quick thing to consider when it comes to lo-fi, this genre may have started as like something like this, but it has erupted into something that has many different sounds, many different techniques, many different styles that kind of it's fused with. And now you see everything from lo-fi house to Christmas lo-fi to people even doing lo-fi remixes of pop music, rap music, and everything you can imagine. So take my piece of advice with a grain of salt, because there's a lot you can do with this genre. So the first thing I'm gonna show you is how I process lo-fi sounds. So to get started, I'm actually just gonna start with a stock piano, and I'm gonna find some really good MIDI for this. There we go. I found a melody I really like, and just a quick note, it's so important to find the right melody is because a lot of times lo-fi is looping the whole time, so make sure that shit sounds good. Don't start the rest of the song unless you actually like the melody. I would rather you spend 10 times the amount of time picking or creating the right melody than adding the drums and the arrangement, all the other little stuff. So the first thing I want to do is add our new plugin Memory. This will really give it that pitch warbling sound, not to mention give it a nice filtered plus noise effect all coming together, so let's listen to it. If you want less pitch modulations, like the pitch going crazy, just turn down the rate and the depth will change how dramatic it does. I'm gonna try it in a different key. I think I like it in C major. I'm gonna try the Rhodes real quick as well, see how it sounds. I'm still gonna have Memory on it. So now that we got some basic chords down, I want to add some layer of like vocal maybe that the audience can kind of connect with. I'm already liking how it's sounding. Just a little bit of that voice in the background is gonna add that emotional tone to it. But one signature thing that even defies what the mixes are called are honestly the ambient noises that are inside of it. So in this pack echoes that I've been using here, I'm gonna find something like, you know, nature or a room, or it might be rain or something, to see how it sounds on top of the melody. I like the vinyl crackles. I'm gonna try to swap it with rain. See which one I like better. Had to check the panning because I'm like so close to the speaker. Okay, so the next thing I want to add in is actually either be some sort of acoustic bass or some sort of tonality on the low end that has a lot of characteristics. I'm not really looking for a big sub that's gonna like make the song slap, because honestly, a lot of people are just playing this in the background and the bass is not supposed to take the attention on a lo-fi track. So we have a nice layered low end, we have a little vocals in the background, we have the ambient. When it comes to the drums, you can do them a lot of different ways. Like I mentioned before, there's lo-fi house these days. Obviously it takes, you know, drum patterns from house music. There's stuff that sounds a little bit more like 90s hip hop, Jay Dilla style. I actually kind of like the lo-fi that uses a lot of Foley sounds. So in this, I'm gonna pick non-traditional type sounds and just go from there. I like this snare because it sounds not really like a traditional snare clap. It's kind of more of like, it has some texture to it, right? A little bit of filteredness to it. I really like how it sounds. So I'm gonna take a little drum break here and sample just a little part of it. But if you hear this drum break, there's a lot of sound going on. I'm actually gonna use our plugin Origin, which is gonna downsample it. A lot of people think Memory and Origin are similar, but they're actually completely different. Origin is gonna help you downsample to get that lo-fi sound. Essentially, just think about it as making like a worse quality sound. And what Memory is gonna do is it's gonna give you random pitch modulation to give it that tape warble type sound. So I'm gonna put Origin on these drums real quick to just lo-fi them out. We're gonna pitch them down. And then now, I'm gonna stretch them a little bit. I'm just taking pieces of the loop and I'm rearranging them till I get like a new loop completely. See, just with a little processing, like originally, this is what it sounded like. And just by pitching a little bit, putting Origin on it, you're able to get like this new vibe. And I like it because not everything's perfect on the grid. It's a little off, but honestly, it's one of the things that makes lo-fi very special. Here, when it comes to the kick selection, I think it's important not to get a kick that's over dominant, overpowering, or make sure your volume's not like blasting on the kick. So we're gonna find something that kind of just sits in the background. Kicks is a thing that a lot of producers overdo. I'm usually like trying to find the perfect balance of the least amount of kicks as possible, especially with a genre like this, to really carry the groove. The next thing I think is really cool you can do is actually start sidechaining stuff to the kick, especially things you wouldn't normally do like the rain. I'm going to create an automation clip. And so every time there's a kick here, I'm just gonna do the rain just like that. Maybe a little bigger. The rain is like fucking bumping to the music. I love it. You can do that to other elements. Like I'm gonna also actually do it to this little drum break that I resampled. I'm doing the exact same trip. So if you look at the rain, it's going all the way to the floor, but this one is just gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna change the length of it. So it's just gonna be a very, very subtle movement when the kick hits. Okay, the other thing I wanna dip one more time, I'm gonna duck the bass so that way you can hear the kick a little better, because if you duck the bass as soon as the kick hit and you sidechain the bass, the kick just has a little bit more room to come in and actually hit. Okay, I'm gonna look for a couple other, let me see if I can find some Foley sounds that would go great. So I'm gonna try some weird shit like this. Just a little bit of weird texture to the snare. So right here, what is this, unlock? Like the way it comes up almost sounds like it's hitting with the snare, watch. So that's the sound I'm taking. We'll turn it down a little bit just so it's just literally just a texture they barely can hear. I think that's about it. I didn't use that many elements, but I was able to get like a very interesting Foley, organic type feel to the beat. I think it's important to know when you're done. If I keep going, I would fuck this up. But the fact that it sounds like pretty solid here, we're coming close to where I would just go ahead and start working on arrangement. Maybe we'll just have the vocal run right here, and then we'll bring the bass in with the drums, and I'm actually gonna leave the rain. The rain's important. Okay, there's actually one more thing I wanna add to this I think would add a lot, so let me see if there's something in here. That's the exact kind of sound I'm looking for. Those are a couple tricks I use for processing sounds, getting different textures when it comes to making lo-fi beats. Honestly, there's a lot more you could do with it. You could take it a little bit more of a hip-hop direction that's do well. Like I said, you could do lo-fi house. There's so many stuff you could do with the genre. But sometimes, like when I'm making this kind of music, I'm not always focused on adding shit. I'm literally just listening to the vibe, letting the loop run, because that's kind of what this genre is about. It's almost like background music, or it's gotta be easy to listen to, right? Nothing really needs to be commanding crazy attention. All right, guys, before we go, if you guys want to make this style of music, there's two key plugins I would highly recommend getting. One is Memory. I used it on half the sounds of these projects to give you that tape warble feeling. It has a very unique sound to it, not to mention get Origin. That'll give you a really good downsampler, so you can resample out of your sounds and give it that lo-fi touch. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to go check out those two plugins and come back for more videos. Peace.